Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
Looks like we've got our first real job. I don't have to tell you that we're going under the microscope on this one. There are folks on both sides of the Atlantic who still aren't convinced that there's any need for a group. Take your time and study the situation carefully. If we blow it the first time out, they may just shut us down.
Never in your wildest dreams have you seen a team like the Beam. Three musketeers who pull strings like some puppeteers. The world champs like the Buccaneers. And our music is blood, sweat, and tears. Through trials and tribulations, we sold snow for compensation. And not the new hustles conversations. Like the book of Luke and Revelations, each line designed with helpful information on day-to-day life. My tribe's on a quest like Fife or Q-Tip, and you trip if you thought this was your average gimmick shit. No shiny suits or lipstick or makeup, you better wake up. We about to make some groups break up so we can shake up the whole city. You niggas too pretty, it's time to get grimy and gritty. This for them cats on the corners and they living there, trying to be a millionaire so they can cop land and put some buildings there. The picture we see is much bigger than you niggas. You count your ones, but us, we gon' count figures and slice these pies. Music wise, we got these guys. They scared of my flow, it's just the intro, now let's go.
Looks like we've got our first real job. I don't have to tell you that we're going under the microscope on this one. There are folks on both sides of the Atlantic who still aren't convinced that there's any need for a group. Take your time and study the situation carefully. If we blow it the first time out, they may just shut us down.
Never in your wildest dreams have you seen a team like the Beam. Three musketeers who pull strings like some puppeteers. The world champs like the Buccaneers. And our music is blood, sweat, and tears. Through trials and tribulations, we sold snow for compensation. And not the new hustles conversations. Like the book of Luke and Revelations, each line designed with helpful information on day-to-day life. My tribe's on a quest like Fife or Q-Tip, and you trip if you thought this was your average gimmick shit. No shiny suits or lipstick or makeup, you better wake up. We about to make some groups break up so we can shake up the whole city. You niggas too pretty, it's time to get grimy and gritty. This for them cats on the corners and they living there, trying to be a millionaire so they can cop land and put some buildings there. The picture we see is much bigger than you niggas. You count your ones, but us, we gon' count figures and slice these pies. Music wise, we got these guys. They scared of my flow, it's just the intro, now let's go.
Started out, I'm a young ass nigga, kicking dust and shit. No matter the size of these niggas, the first to bust, bitch. On my block, you had to hustle just to make your dough. You didn't have no hustle in you, nigga, then you was a hoe. We all got mean, we all got green. We picked up the triple beam, nigga, to serve them fiends. To get to where you needed to be, we sold that deep. To get to where you needed to go, we pimped that hoe. And we were so tight, it was a password to come on our street. 28 grams at a time to make our ends meet. And that's when shit grew, that's when I knew I had to get my motherfucking crew and tell them what to do. When the feds try to come down and holler at you, post up and make them bitches swallow a few. Somehow, some of them feds got past some of my niggas, and when I looked out the window, they had their hands on their triggers. And just as I reached for my fofo, they kicked in the dough and tried to play me like a hoe. But yo, I love dumping on my foes, And when they saw this Desert Eagle I was holding, them bitches froze. I told them this might sound kinda lame, don't it? I got 2 of these 44 caliber bullets with y'all's names on it. 2 shots was fired, 2 feds expired. And yo, to replace me on the block, another hustler was hired. And yo, down in ATL is where this nigga retired. And I don't have to worry about a motherfucker been wired. Every once in a while I come back to check my shit. I slide in, slide back out just to collect my grip. So for all you motherfuckers in this game, niggas just keep it real. Fucking with you snitches, fools, a bad deal. A bad deal is what you get. Get caught in the cross and end up wet, nigga. You better bet. I thought you thought what you sold is
Yo, 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 what's up? Welcome back to the channel. For everybody that's on this live, let's get it started, man. If you got something to say, get in the chat, make it happen. Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. We up in here, man. We live. I want to hear from you. What's up? Talk to me. Go back to some of this music real quick.
Back on the motherfucking streets with this number 2 edition. And some of the deadliest killers, not sayings is prohibition. So listen, can only be beneficial. Cause if you're not riding with us, then you get shanked in the gristle. I whistle and watch a bunch of niggas come like roaches. Cause we can get them up with these. If you gotta approach us with coaches, with guns, I got to deal with you firm. And my name is Chaos, and you don't wanna see me with burners. Learning high to Omar Epps. I'm in the motherfucking neighborhood with a gang of niggas on my step. But you can get to me to shake my hand, and I would tell these niggas to leave. That's if you wanna take a stand, take the man. You best to have some balls like melons. Cause if you can't beat it, then join it. We all like fellas, just like dwelling in the inner city. You've been told you was a loser all your life, so come be a winner with me. Hit the block for the big payback. And watch a fucking wheel of fortune turn just like Pat say Jack. The A-Gap can pay the fucking bills. But we just on the streets like the lot, so you got to keep it real and eat this meal. It's work to be done. And it's gonna be a gang of niggas out there that's up when we come. So fuck with me, son, I'm death and hell. Follow with me, get the biggest motherfucking gun you got to come and get me. We realest of the realest, we hardest of the hardest, we killers of the killers, we smartest of the smartest. Give a fuck about what you and your clique holding. Cause we gon' do what we do, gonna get this loot and keep rolling. We realest of the realest, we hardest of the hardest, we killers of the killers, we smartest of the smartest. Give a fuck about what you and your clique folding. Cause we gon' do what we do, gonna get this loot and keep rolling. And all my niggas be draped in gold. You think they in the precious metals, so millions backing me. You think I'm with some leftist rebels, I be keeping count. We got a bunch of scores to settle on platinum plus. You put my niggas to some base of the devil's levels and give me a G. How my niggas posted up with CDs. Give me the street, I be the king of it. I get rich, my team love it. Niggas speak my name foul, we see what you mean of it. I get mean mugged it. Never bother me before a loose rock ain't about to break this mountain. You need to know I put the kill on anybody step on my path. You fucking up, I got to go back. Checking my map, you got to leave town. And it's best that you leave now. Spend your life missing
everything from the knees down. I speed down your block and blow niggas up off the map. Go get rid of the strap and give the nigga closest to me some gap. That's how it goes down. You knows now. If you niggas press the issue, we gon' lay you hoes down. No clown can take me out my game. I bring the heat and we can take it to the motherfucking street, niggas. Cause we realest of the realest. We hardest of the hardest. We killers of the killers. We smartest of the smartest. Give a fuck about what you in your clique holding. Cause we gon' do what we do. Gonna get this loot and keep rolling. We realest of the realest. We hardest of the hardest. We killers of the killers. We smartest of the smartest. Give a fuck about what you in your clique folding. Cause we gon' do what we do. Gonna get this loot and keep rolling.
We the cream of the crop, and like locks, the beam gon' pop. My presence there whether I'm seen or not. Just close your eyes and imagine me puffing and spitting flames like the magic dragon. In medieval times, these seafood rhymes laid across the wickedest track. Got cats addicted, got ill pushing the scale like crack. The new epidemic, the Surgeon General should warn you. Too much use of this shit could be harmful just to alarm you. I thought I'd warn you. Me and the microphone like skull and bones means danger. Man, it's a bean banger. So you know the streets involved. No evidence, but some clips. My guns revolve. K, me and Mitch, aka the Bean. Nigga ain't no I in team.
No doubt.
It's all about
We realest of the realest. We hardest of the hardest. We killers of the killers. We smartest of the smartest. Give a fuck about what you in your clique holding. Cause we gon' do what we do. Gonna get this loot and keep rolling. We realest of the realest. We hardest of the hardest. We killers of the killers. We smartest of the smartest. Give a fuck about what you in your clique folding. Cause we gon' do what we do. Gonna get this loot and keep rolling.
Yeah, so it's a little past 1 o'clock, man. So we just gonna get into it, man. Start talking about it. The latest video I had up, man, was basically "You Can't Handle the Truth," and it was basically speaking to the fact that a lot of people, man, dealing with this music thing, man, just not really focused on being truthful about all this stuff, man. And as you go across the internet, man, you just start noticing just like everybody trying to get over on each other and do all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying? I mean, everything is not dealing with music, man, you know what I'm saying? So I just take it up on myself, man, because I really like working with new producers and new artists, man. And what I don't like seeing is basically people just taking advantage of people, you know what I'm saying? And not focusing on the music. Couple of concepts, what's up? And just not focusing on the music, man. So, you know, our thing is we need to focus on the music and make the music the main thing, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, man, what you have is you got these people out here, man, that's so busy trying to sell you stuff, right? And they lose sight of the music thing. And most of the time, the questions I'm getting is strictly about music, you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at, and I'm dealing with new artists, you know what I'm saying, and new producers. I mean, a lot of the people that's been in the game for a minute, a lot of them just trying to get paid, man, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, you know what I'm saying, in most cases, you know what I'm saying? I can't tell nobody not to get paid, and that's not what I'm here for. What I'm here for, man, is basically to keep that balance, though. We got to keep that balance, man. We can't just be out here just willy-nilly all over the place, just trying to take advantage of each other, you know what I'm saying? What we got to be doing, man, is we got to get to a point, man, where we pushing music and helping other artists get their music heard, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if everybody noticed this, man, but everywhere you go and everything you do is music. You could walk into a store and music playing, even though it's old music or whatever, it's music playing. If you go into get in the elevator, it's music playing. If you call a company and they put you on hold, it's music playing. You know what I'm saying? And then we ain't gonna even talk about when you're actually watching TV. Every movie, music. When you're watching YouTube, music everywhere. What else, man? Just everywhere you go is music. All your commercials got music. Very seldom do you see a TV commercial without music. You know what I'm saying? Like all your documentaries, everything got music, man. And every TV show got theme music that comes from somebody. So we got to start looking at the whole thing. Like, let's stop being so much of consumers, man, and really get in the game and start promoting music. If you hear somebody dope, man, let's get somebody dope out there. You know what I'm saying? Let's stop stifling this whole thing. And when I was talking about being consumers, I'm just looking at the whole thing like, man, we buying every piece of equipment that come out. It ain't a piece of equipment that come out that we don't buy. We buying everything. And it's just like, we got to get to a point, man, where we really zoning in, man, and taking our time to learn the equipment that we got. You know what I'm saying? And just get better, man. And that's just my thing, man, in 2024, man. Everybody need to get better. Period. We just need to get better, man. It's like ain't no need in everybody just trying to take advantage of each other. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the problem is now, man, in most cases, man. Like when you look around music and entertainment and all that, you got so many people trying to get over on each other that ain't nobody promoting what it is that people really do. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to get in the game, man, get better about that stuff, man, and really home in, man, and handle that business when it comes to promoting music and not so much promoting all these different companies. We promote these companies harder than we promote our own music. Like when I get online, man, like I literally see artists promoting products and they ain't never promoted their own music. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, it's like we got to get out of that, man. Stop being consumers, man, and start putting that work in, man, and handling business. You know what I'm saying? As far as outboard gear, it's been an outboard gear epidemic, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing so much outboard gear being purchased that it done got to a point now, man. It's sickening. You know what I'm saying? Because you taking all these guys from the digital realm and you basically got them buying all this outboard gear. And I'm just looking at them buy all this outboard gear. And I'm like, dude, like this is crazy to me because the learning curve on it, man, is like ridiculous, man. Not only are they buying the latest MPCs and all this other stuff that's out. It's like they trying to get into the outboard gear game, man, which is really crazy to me because that's a touchy game. And if you're not going to have somebody really teach you that stuff, man, you could waste a lot of money. You could blow a lot of dough on outboard gear just buying it and never really understand how to really make it effective and put it to use, man. I mean, it's so much out there, man. Then it's so much repeat outboard gear, right? Like you got so many different compressors and all that stuff. It's like a lot of these guys just buying this stuff off of hearsay. So they'll hear somebody else talk about it and then they'll go buy it, but they don't really understand it. And it's like, man, like I say, the learning curve is heavy. When you start putting all that stuff in your studio, man, and then you got to learn it along with the latest MPC Key 37, along with the latest MPC whatever, and the latest Native Instruments Complete Control and all that stuff. It's like, man, I'm telling you, it's going to get to a point where you're not even making music, though. You won't even be making music, man. You're going to be back in the classroom basically learning, man. You're going to be sitting down reading owner's manuals, trying to figure out how to even get this stuff to work together. I mean, a lot of guys don't even understand how patch bays work. So when I watch them buy a lot of this, they buying a lot of this outboard gear. It's like, man, it's like they don't even know what patch bays are. So it's like, man, it's like you need to learn all this stuff, man. You got to get in the game and you got to learn all this stuff, man. And it gets touchy, it gets tricky, man. So my suggestion, man, is before you start buying all that stuff, do your research, man, and research heavy and understand what stuff you really want, what sound you going for. I mean, like, you need to know all of that, man. Like, if you're making hip hop, you might be going for a certain sound, man, and just understand that. Don't mess around and buy something that sound good on EDM or whatever. It's like you ain't gonna do nothing but make yourself mad trying to figure out how to make it sound good on your hip hop. So that's just like I say, man, but that's part of the learning curve, man. That's why you see so many people selling equipment. That's why you see so many people out here, man, just selling equipment, man. And I mean, it's tough, man, because they get it, they use it for a while, and then they find out they don't really like it. You know what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, I mean, they got this equipment, and they use it for a little while. They think they like it, but then when they really listen to their music, it ain't got the sound that they was looking for. Or it don't do what somebody said it do. You know what I'm saying? So all this basically buying equipment because other people tell you about it. Now you need to start listening to your music and finding out, like, do I need saturation? You know what I'm saying? Do I need compression? You know what I'm saying? Start finding out what you really need, man. Sit down with a mix engineer and find out what it is he doing to your music. And then once you find out what it is he doing to your music, you know what I'm saying, then you can start going off of it and pay attention to what he using, man. He might be using some API gear on there. And you might be looking at buying Neve gear. You know what I'm saying? But if you like the way that API gear sound, man, I mean, you might want to get API gear in your studio. You know what I'm saying? Don't get Neve gear just because you hear the rumblings that Neve is the best equipment out there. That may not be the best stuff for your music, though, for your style of music. You have to make sure you putting the right sauce on your music. It's just like when you barbecue. If you put the wrong sauce on there, man, everybody going to come to the house and be like, man, the barbecue was all right. Could have been better. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so you got to be thinking like that, man. You got to, when you get in the game like that, man, you got to be thinking like that. You got to be saying, you know what I'm saying, what kind of sauce am I putting on my music? You know what I'm saying? I mean, and you got to really be focused on that, because whatever you put on the music, that's what people going to hear. That's what they getting from you. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my take on the outboard gear, man. I mean, it's tough. It's tough to know what to buy, because when you go into the commercial studios, like I told you to do, they got everything. They got API, they got Neve, they got warm audio, they got everything. So they get to pick and choose which ones they want to use on your stuff based on what they hearing. But what you gonna have to do is make the determination of what it is you really want to use. You know what I'm saying? So if it's something you really want to use out there, if you've had somebody use it on your work before, you like how it sound, that's where you need to be going with it. That's what you need to be trying to get closest to. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my thing on outboard gear, man. It gets very expensive. And I'm going to tell you something, you know, once you buy it and then you try to sell it, most times you're not going to get full price for it. You're going to have to sell it at a discount. So you're going to lose money on all this stuff. So you got to remember, man, don't just be out here buying stuff just, you know what I'm saying, just throwing your money away. You know what I'm saying? Be strategic with your money, man, and make sure when you're buying stuff, man, it really means something to you. And it's going to be in your studio for the long haul. Because remember, this ain't the only song that you're going to produce with it. You're going to produce a lot of music with it. So you got to remember, man, it got to be stuff that I'm going to be using for a while. And it got to be stuff that really coincide with the way my studio's set up. If you got a bunch of synths and stuff, you got to make sure it sound good with the synths you got. If you digital, you got to make sure it sound good in your mix bus. So when you putting your mix down, it make everything sound good. So that's just some things to think about, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't hear people talking about it. I just hear them telling y'all to go get this stuff. And for me, man, it's like I just don't buy equipment just based on so-called hearsay or people just saying it and me believing what they say. It's like, nah, I'm finna go do my homework on it, man. I read for 3 or 4 days on a piece of equipment before I buy it, man. I read every article and brochure I can read on it, man, to make sure it go with what I'm doing. Everything in my studio is well researched, man. That's why it's in here. I don't have anything in my studio that I got it because somebody else said, oh, this is the thing to have. I don't do that. Because somebody else's ear is not finna tell me how to, you know what I'm saying, how to tune my music and listen to my music. So be careful when you're out there listening to people tell you what gear to buy, man. I mean, that's just one of them things, man. It's tough, though. I mean, you got to listen to somebody, but make sure you listen to trusted sources, man. Make sure when you listening to these people, man, these people are kind of like make the type music you like to hear or make the type music that you make. And if you think they music sounds super professional, at that point you can kind of trust them and say, you know what? I'm kind of cool with this because dude music sound good or her music sound good. And he or she make the same type of music I make. So I'm probably not going wrong by using this, right? So that's how you can do that too, man, and kind of narrow it down, man. And that's just it on that outboard gear, man. I mean, it's tough, man. You know, it's so much of it out there, and every company is trying to emulate the last company. So you never know when you're getting the quote unquote good stuff. You know what I'm saying? But next thing, man, is after you buy all that stuff, man, get in your studio and work, man, and work towards being professional. Don't just work towards knowing how to make a beat or trying to be like somebody else. Work towards being professional, man. Work towards being the most professional you that you can be. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at it like this, man. If somebody met me right now in the studio, what would their first take be for me? What would they leave the studio thinking? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think that way, man, because that's the way it is. You know what I'm saying? You got to be thinking like, okay, what's my outcome? Where am I going with this? You know what I'm saying? Who do I want to be around? You know what I'm saying? It's that's just one of them things, man. It's like if you're not gonna ask yourself that question, ain't nobody else gonna ask you that question. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that to say this, man. All this low self-esteem I'm seeing out here in the music community, man. It's like, dude, come on, man. We swear, we be swearing by the gods, man, that we men and women. And the first time somebody that you think higher than you say something, you just run with that. And it's like, I'm cool on that, man. I don't really agree with that. I don't agree with that at all, man. I just don't agree with the fact that you'll let somebody push you down on the playground like that. You know what I'm saying? You skin your knees up, you get up, you crying, and you don't do nothing about it. It's like, come on, man. We wasn't raised like that. Well, I wouldn't. I wasn't raised like that. You push me down on the playground, man, guess what? You finna eat them rocks, flat out. That's just what it is. And this was like, I'm watching guys, man, like I said in my video, man, it's like, it's funny because, oh, man, when I watch y'all channels, man, I don't see y'all that way. But when I see y'all in the comments of certain people's channels, y'all be like bowing down, man. And it's like, that's crazy to me. It's like, man, keep that same energy, man. You're going to be confident, be confident. You know what I'm saying? If you need confidence, you need to build your confidence up. You build your confidence up by getting better. You have to get better. You have to get to a point where nobody can really say anything, and when they do, you know they hating. So you can ignore it, right? You know when you're hearing hate, it's like, okay, they just hating on me, so I ain't even got to pay them no attention, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can keep it pushing, but if you don't ever get better, everybody can come along and be just bully you around, man, and just push you around like you allowing people to do online right now, man. Like I'm seeing guys in beat reviews, man. They'll be in the beat review, and they beat to be getting reviewed, and somebody will say something negative about it, and they'll kind of say something negative too, like, yeah, I didn't think that was my best work, but I'm like, wow. So, why did you submit it? You know what I'm saying? If you didn't think that was your best work, why did you submit it? You know what I'm saying? Because you shouldn't be submitting your work to be critiqued, and you got low self-esteem, and in your mind you saying, well, this ain't my best work. It's like, well, you asking to be beat down. You begging to be beat down. So it's like, dude, at that point, don't make your self-esteem lower by sitting here doing it to yourself, basically. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, don't do it to yourself. Sit down and make you some better beats. There go that word again. Make some better beats. You know what I'm saying? And when you submit them to these beat reviews, you can sit back with confidence that people are going to listen to your beat and be like, okay, it may not be the type of music I like, but he did a good job on it. See, that's the difference, man. It's like when you get better at something, people can't, I ain't going to say they can't knock it, because we live in an era where everybody want to hate on anything. But like I say, when you're getting hate versus real criticism or whatever. And people going to listen to it and be like, man, it ain't the music I like, but he did a good job on it. That lets you know that you've gotten better. 2024, man, we trying to get better. We trying to get better at everything. We trying to get better at communication. We trying to get better at making beats. We trying to get better at spending our money so that we're not just wasting our money on product that we don't need for our studios, so that when the product we do need come out, we can just buy it because we got the money. You know what I'm saying? We trying to get better as a community so that when we dealing with each other, man, we can honestly deal with each other and not feel like somebody trying to get over on us or just trying to sell us something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all of that stuff, man. We just trying to get better. But more than anything, man, we trying to get better, man. We trying to get better confidence, man. We want to build up our confidence to a point where we can go anywhere and do music, our style of music, whatever that is, and just get busy, bro, and never look over our shoulder about it. You know what I'm saying? When I submit a track, when I send a track to somebody, man, I never look over my shoulder at that track ever, because I know at this point in my career, man, I sit down and I put everything into my music that need to be into my music, man. And I cover all bases, man. I got a mental checklist that I go through every time I make a track. It don't matter who I'm making the track for, but if I know who I'm making it for and I got a rapport with that person, man, I can sit down and cook for real, because I know what they looking for. I know the style, I know the tempo, I know everything. And I got a mental checklist, man, that I go through, bro, that I just check it off every time, man, and I make sure that I'm on point with it so that when I send stuff to people, man, I'm not just sitting around, man, talking about maybe I should have done this, or I could have done that, or I should have done none of that. You know what I'm saying? When I send it to you, I sent you professional work. All you got to do is say if you like the track or not. Flat out. That's just what it is, man. So self-esteem, man, we going to get that up this year, man. We going to handle our business, man. We going to do our thing. We going to be better men and women in the production community, man. And we just going to lift our heads up, man, and stop with all the goofy stuff, man. I mean, we ain't finna be letting people just tear us down just for their benefit, to make them look bigger. You know what I'm saying? And I'm cool on all that, man. We not finna be doing it like that, man. And that lead me into the next thing, man. I talked about like new equipment coming out. It's cool. But remember, man, if you sit back for 12 months, don't buy nothing, and write down how much new equipment come out, man, they got something new coming out about every 2 weeks. I mean, every 2 weeks, man. So if you want to be broke, if you want your pockets to be real skinny, man, jump out here, jump in this game and start buying all this equipment and start going to these websites, man, and setting up all these payment plans. And, man, what you going to find yourself doing, man, you're going to have a room full of equipment and you ain't going to have no money because, I mean, man, if you buy everything that come out, and I'm talking about plug-ins, I'm talking about hardware, man, if you start buying all this stuff, man, it gets tedious, man. They here to take your money for real. They trying to take it as fast as you make it. And if you allow them to do it, man, that's just what they gonna do, man. So as far as the equipment, man, I would advise everybody, man, only buy what you need. Don't be out here buying all of this equipment, man, and just straining your pocket to death. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just what that is. I mean, because once you got a MIDI controller that you got within the last 3 or 4 years, you don't need a new MIDI controller. The only reason I would see somebody needing more than one MIDI controller or something like that, man, like I got 2 setups here. I got 2 Macs set up where I got a MIDI controller on each one, right? I got a Ableton set up and I got a Logic set up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can see you doing something like that, but if you're not doing that, which a lot of guys are not, I mean, because you can really do it on the same computer. I just ended up having an extra computer, so I set them up separate so that I don't have to put so much strain on one computer, doing everything on one computer. But, I mean, if you're not having a setup like that, man, I mean, really, my advice, man, take your time, baby. I mean, all these MIDI controllers do the same thing. They might add a few little quirks to it, but it is what it is, man. You got a drum machine. You got an MPC drum machine, you straight. I told y'all in the video, man, like my drum machines, man, my go-to drum machines are not your go-to drum machines. I mean, and it might be an age thing, you know what I'm saying? But I know mine ain't really an age thing because I got an MPC 2000 XL that I never part with. I bought it the day it came out. I got a MPC 4000 that I never part with. And matter of fact, the 2000 XL and the 4000 just might go in my casket, just to let you know how much I like both of them. So that's just where I'm at with that. I got an MPC 5000 that I use for sound design, and I use it for sound design because it has the cheaper, I ain't gonna say cheaper sounding converters, but I'm gonna say like it's a little thin. It's not as solid. It's a little thin, wishy-washy, you know what I'm saying? And I'm fine with that, but that's what I want it for. I use it for sound design, for certain music. You know what I'm saying? So, but that one, I mean, I might part with it at some point. You know what I'm saying? That one ain't like a real big deal in my studio. You know what I'm saying? My 4000 can really do everything. Now, I have none of the new MPCs whatsoever because I don't need them. And the main reason I don't need them is because I got a complete control and a machine drum machine. You know, Native Instruments machine drum machine. So once you got a digital setup, you really ain't got to be buying. I don't need machine and MPC's digital setup because all of it pretty much sound the same. It's just digital sound, and I'm going to have to run through a bunch of processors and stuff at the end to try to make it sound the way I want it to sound anyway. So I don't need a lot of that stuff. So my Native Instruments stuff is pretty dope. And then I like Native Instruments, man, because of the complete setup that come with it, man. I mean, that complete is pretty dope, man. It got just about everything you need in it, man. And really, once you get that much stuff, like come with Complete 14 or whichever one is out right now, I mean, like, more than likely, man, you're not going to use all this stuff. You're going to gravitate towards your favorite things in there, you know what I'm saying? So that's just what that is. And beat making, man. Beat making, I know that's everybody's favorite hobby. But what I want everybody to start doing this year, man, is stop making beat making your favorite hobby. I'm going to say it one more time. I'm going to do the Umar Johnson. Stop making beat making your favorite hobby. Stop making beat making your favorite hobby. Stop making beat making your favorite hobby. Because I'm going to tell you something I've noticed, man, like a lot of people know how to make beats, right? And it's fine. It's dope. But I'm starting to notice, like, guys don't know how to do nothing else, though. It's like, man, we all want to claim we run in studios and all this, but we don't know how to do nothing else. I mean, you don't know how to mix the beats, which is a problem. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how to arrange the beats, which is a problem. You know what I'm saying? So beat making ain't just boom, bap, boom, ba, boom, bap. It's like, man, you got to really sit down and make sure you putting the whole idea together so that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and at the end of the day, man, like, if I wanted to get a beat from you, it's like, I don't want your rough draft. I want to hear something that I can listen to and create an idea from. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, man, let's start getting to a point, man, where we can put these tracks and stuff together, man, and when we present it to people, man, look, it's an idea. It generates energy. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just a bunch of 808s booming around. It's actually got some flow to it. It got an intro, a lead verse, a hook, second verse, a bridge, an outro. You know, we got to start thinking like that, man. You know what I'm saying? So, beat making, man. Let's get better at beat making, man. Let's get gangster at beat making. Let's start thinking beat making all the way through, man. Let's start thinking it through a little further than we've been thinking it through. How about that? Let's really start focusing on taking beat making to the next level, man, and just doing our business that way, man. I mean, because a lot of times, man, what I'm noticing, man, we just making beats, man. And it get kind of, for me, man, it just get kind of, I don't know the word I'm looking for, man, but I'm just sick of seeing everybody make beats. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost to a point, man, it's getting disrespectful, man. Just everybody just making beats. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I tell you what we do, man. Let's start making beats with something in mind, right? Maybe you are an artist. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you are an artist yourself. Start making beats with the thought that you're going to actually write a song to it. Or start making beats for your favorite artist. And I ain't talking about type beats. I'm talking about an artist you really like to listen to. Start making beats for that artist. You know what I'm saying? Start making your beats have some meaning, man, and something that you can latch on to, man. I mean, because the more you just make beats, I mean, it just kind of get to a point where, I mean, really, man, the energy is just off, man, because you're just making beats because you got equipment. And that's why I always say, man, I mean, don't just be a producer, be productive, man. It's like, dude, you can't just be making beats all the time, every day, man. It's like, dude, and I understand practicing. I ain't saying don't practice, because I still practice. There's certain times I hear some music, right, on the radio or whatever, or while I'm streaming music, and it'll be something that I've never done before. So I get in the lab, man, and it's like, let me see if I know how to make that. That's different. Because sometimes I don't make the entire track. I might hear like say for instance, I'm listening to music and I hear like a certain chord progression. Man, I'm going to come in my studio and try to make that, man. If I like it, I need to add that to my repertoire. That's practice. I mean, you might be into 808 beats and hear something come out, man, and the 808's moving, and you like, man, I need to go see if I know how to make that. That's dope. That's hella dope, man. Get in there, man, and practice and work on stuff. But you don't always have to just make beats, man. I mean, you don't want to just start filling hard drives up with beats, because like 98% of that stuff, it ain't gonna age well. It's not. It's not gonna age well. You're gonna go back and listen to it and be like, yeah, them just a bunch of old beats that I filled my hard drive up with. That's why it's best, man, to either, start working with artists. And that way your music it'll be getting used instantly. You'll hear ideas and stuff on your music out the gate, you know what I'm saying? And that way you don't have to really sit back and wonder, like, hey, what's going on with my music, or what am I doing with it? No, let an artist get on there, man. You know what I'm saying? And let me be real clear. Let me be clear with this too, man. Let me say something that ain't been getting said, man. You can't charge for every track, right? You shouldn't charge for every track. If you're working with a new artist that you just met, right? Local artists. I'm talking about local artists. I ain't talking about these artists with budgets and all that. I'm talking about a local artist, man. You can't either you're going to work with them or you're not. Because remember, the local artists, when you find an artist locally, if you think they dope, I'm going to be the first one to tell you, make sure you start working with them. Because the dope artists, when you find a dope artist that's ambitious, that's where your magic going to be. And that's where you're going to get heard at. I don't care if you only end up on a demo. That's where you're going to get heard at. So you got to be focused, man. When you're out meeting people, when you're in studios meeting people, make sure you're paying attention to people. If you meeting people, man, you like, okay, this artist dope, right? And then that artist tell you like, yeah, I've been working on this, working on that. And you check their social media and they on point. I'm not telling you to give them 10 of your tracks. I'm saying you need to be working out a way to start working with them and be one of the producers that they call on when it's time for them to put music together. Because what's going to happen is, man, that same artist is the next artist to get the spotlight, and you're going to be sitting at home talking about, man, I should have worked with him when I first met him. I should have worked with her when I first met her in the studio. Because guess what now? Everybody else done already got them slots, and that artist finna go on to do everything they gonna do in the industry with that group of people. They gonna start off with that core group of people. They gonna sign a deal, and the record label gonna pull them away from that group of people and put them with a new group of people. And guess what you just did? You just passed up a great opportunity to be on the front end of somebody's career, and possibly in the thick of their career, depending on how good you are. You know what I'm saying? So, man, stop passing up opportunities, man, not listening to your gut. Or because somebody don't want to pay you $50 for your track. You can't make nobody pay you $50 for your track because your ass went out and bought $5,000 worth of equipment to make the track on. You can't obligate people to pay you for your tracks because you paid for equipment. You paid for equipment because you wanted to get in the game. You got to pay to play, right? So sometimes you got to take it on the chin, man. You got to understand that's what I did, man. When I make beats, eventually I'll get paid for them. Eventually I'll be able to put my price out there and people will pay me for them. You can start your website to get paid for it, but a lot of times when you're meeting artists, a lot of your new artists, man, they ain't got a lot of money. They got enough money to get in the studio. What you want to do is be a part of creating the magic behind them so that when they get noticed, your name all over the place. Once your name get out there, now you got other artists that's saying, okay, so you had a local guy produce that first track? What's his name? And there you go. It's jumping out the gate, man. So beat making, man. Let's take it serious, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's start taking it serious. Let's start handling our business, doing what we gonna do. I'll tell you something else, man, with beat making. Let's make sure keep your hard drives clean. Keep your hard drives organized. Because I understand you guys make a lot of beats, man, and I know I'm in the era, and it ain't my era. but I still make music in this era. I make dope music in this era, but this y'all's era, and I'm gonna tell you what I noticed. All this, I make 15 beats in 10 minutes. It's like, I hope you labeling all that stuff properly, man, and putting it together right in your hard drives and stuff so that if somebody come for it and need the stems and all that, you can still pull it up because you know you need to be organized. Organization is very important. It's one of them things none of us producers like to do, but man, when you got it done and done right, it comes in handy because it's going to make you more efficient. You know what I'm saying? Keep your systems updated, all this stuff. You're a beat maker. And I'm talking to the beat makers. I ain't talking to the producers, man, because once you step up, well, let me say that the other way. I'm talking to the beat makers. I ain't talking to like the mix engineers and recording engineers and all them. They already know this stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? They already know, man, that these guys got more hard drives than you'll ever have in your life. They know the importance of keeping hard drives together and keeping all that stuff, you know what I'm saying, labeled right and put together right because their careers depend on it. But beat makers tend to ignore that, man. And you don't want to be ignoring that. That's something that's very important, man. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of beat makers not really focus on that aspect of it. And you just got to. So it ain't just about making beats, man. It's about doing everything that go along with making beats so that you can be good at what you're doing, and you can always reference everything and put everything together right, man. So that's just it, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the things I wanted to talk about today, man. For everybody that's on here right now, man, good looking for coming through the live, you know what I'm saying? And for everybody that's gonna watch it on the replay, you know what I'm saying? What's up to you? You know what I'm saying? You make sure you stay close to the channel so you can catch when I'm going live. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start posting it in my community posts. You know what I'm saying? When I'm gonna go live. You know what I'm saying? So be on the lookout for that because we're gonna start going live a lot more so that we can have these conversations, man. And like I always say, man, don't just be a producer. Be productive. Get in the studio. Be working on something. I don't care what it is you're working on in the studio. You could be making a track. You could be recording a track. You could be recording yourself, your own songs or whatever you're doing. But whatever you're doing, make sure it's making you better than you was the last time and the time before that. Man, we going to keep elevating. It's all about elevation, man. We not staying stagnant in 2024. We not finna be making the same music. We finna get innovative. We finna push the envelope, and we gonna make people actually step their game up, man. And we gonna show them, bruh. We just gonna show them because at the end of the day, we can't afford to be playing, man, because other genres doing their thing quietly. You know what I'm saying? So we just gotta be, you know, doing our thing. What we got here? We got boredom and I can't see it. I got bad eyesight. Don't laugh at me. We got boredom and bedlam. What's up, man? Shout out to you. I couldn't agree with you more. First video, truth. Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. Shout out for coming through. I mean, that's what it's all about, man. Telling the truth, man. Ain't nobody really got time for all this goofy stuff, man. Because what I'm noticing in the community, man, is like people really trying to move forward. People ain't got time for being stagnant, man. And like, I already got my situation, man. You know, I've been doing it since 1994, right? So I already got my situations, man. I already got my thing. I don't like seeing people coming into it though without a situation and then watching everybody play on them. It's like that's crazy to me because everybody don't come into this with a grand scheme of how they want to move and groove in here, man. So that's just what it is, man. So we're going to get better in 2024, man. We're going to get much better. We're going to handle our business. We're going to do our thing. And that's just what I'm looking for, man. So hopefully these lives, man, can be what people looking for because I don't plan on doing them like everybody else do them. I'm looking for the engagement. I'm looking for people to really voice their opinion and not be just talked to. You know what I'm saying? Because I can sit here and talk. I'm a good talker. I'm a good speaker. But it's like, that ain't what it's about. It's about, dude, get your ideas out, meet other people, man, start moving and grooving. You might have to go to another city and work with somebody or something just to get your name out there, but that's just what it is. So that's my time for the day, man. We're going to end it on that note. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to hit you with it again because I love saying it. Don't just be a producer, be productive. Get in the studio, be working on something, and whatever you working on, make sure it make you better than you was the last time. Peace.